All right, now do you have sound? Now you have sound for me. You should. I don't know. It's really weird when I use it. When I use my headphones like this, if I put my microphone down, um, it's fine. But if I do it on OBS, there's an echo. Unless I have an echo now. So, all right. I think Rural Farm Boy is trying to figure out his sound right now. But yeah, so it's the.
Okay, can you hear me, Michael?
I can hear you now.
There we go. We're good.
But I have you, or I have myself coming in. So I have sound from you. I just have myself as an echo now.
Okay, I can hear you. You can hear me, but I'm looking in the live chat, and Mr. Rez is saying there's no sound.
That was an older post from a minute ago. So yeah, they can hear, Mr. Rez can hear both of us.
Okay, we're good.
But there's an echo.
Let me take a look at this. All right, let's try that. I have sound for me and you. No, it was on. It was. There we go.
Okay, now there's no sound. So
no,
let's
I
see
got
if it
it.
was you
I
or.
didn't have my headphones plugged in, but we're good now.
Okay. Well, see, because I dropped these headphones
We're good now.
a couple weeks ago, and I started to get, when I do the OBS that I have to use to do my live stream, if I'm just recording something, or if I'm doing like the live stream with the video game, there's an echo on it then. So I have to put the microphone up so it's not on, and then it still goes to the microphone. I don't understand how the hell it works. It's all, I don't know. I'm not that complicated. But all right, yeah. So anyways, yeah, I was just saying really quick. So, Rural Farm Boy, I haven't seen you in a bit. It's been, as you would say, I guess it's been a spell.
Yes, sir.
You've been busy doing your thing. I haven't had a chance. Yeah, so you've asked me about it a few times. It was just the TooMedToo's channel, and I just kind of went by TooMedToo's, and then I decided to bump up the game a little bit and started using the TooMedToo's channel. And then I decided, even though my show that I have with Mike Pappas is going to be whenever, it could be 3 shows in 1 week. It could be a show every 3 months, the way our schedule's going, whatever. And then I have the collecting thing with Kylo. That's the same thing. It could be 3 times in a week. It could be once every 3 months. And I've been thinking about using Anchor. So I already have the audio from this, just taking the audio and putting it on Anchor and not really doing too much with it. So I've decided that I am now a network. And I wanted to give this the live chat a name, so I figured kind of like the most appropriate thing would be the Bacta tank. But there's a podcast out there called the Bacta tank, so I didn't want to step on anybody's toes, or there's somebody that's already been around for a little while. And it's TooMedToo's Bacta tank live chat. I just figured if you're watching this right now, you're on the TooMedToo's network, so it's just Bacta tank live chat. I just figured it's easier that way because I know somebody started a podcast, the Blue Harvest podcast, something, and they put something on the end of it. And when you have something that's already established and well known, it's not. I don't really know anything about the Bacta Tank podcast. I just know that there's one out there. I haven't listened to them or anything. I just feel it's easier not to step on people's toes, and I can call it TooMedToo's Bacta Tank. I mean, there's 10,000 Star Wars podcasts out there. There's going to be a lot of them with similar names, whether it's and putting something around whatever. But I just figured that was the easiest thing. So yeah, that's where we stand.
Yep. I want to give a tip of my hat to Miss Lauren from the Galactic Pod. She's in that live chat. How do, Miss Lauren?
She isn't here. We have.
Yes,
I guess now is one of the best times to let you know that this episode of TooMedToo's Bacta Tank live chat is brought to you from or by Chris from Kentucky and Mr. Rez. If you would like to hear me say your name at some time during the podcast or show, if I don't forget, you can find all my crap on Patreon somewhere. I don't have tiers. If you just want to help so that I can donate some money so that I can buy new cameras and microphones, and I think I have a pretty good shot at reaching my goal of the 1,000 subscribers. So I should be able to live chat, or do the live stream, live chat, whatever, from Celebration. And that camera that I want is $600. So every penny from y'all help. Yeah, and that's
So let me ask you, Michael. How do we find your Patreon? Name it up. How do we find you on Patreon?
It's TooMedToo.
Okay, same as your show's named.
Yep, and if you go, let me just double check on here. I believe it's in my show notes too, or also, so that I'm just pulling up something here. I don't want to start playing this. I want to go be able to check the. So like after it says, this live chat, the first thing it tells you is subscribe, and the second thing it tells you is become a Patreon, and it gives you the Patreon. It's patreon.com/TooMedToo. And I don't have tiers. So a lot of the Patreons I belong to, they entice you by, if you do $10 instead of $5, you get a t-shirt every 6 months or something like that. And some of them I figure I'm going to give them a couple dollars a month, and I give them a couple more dollars, I get a t-shirt every 6 months. So it works out to be about the same. But I don't have anything set up like that. So at the moment, maybe sometime in the future. I know I've been talking about it for a little while, but I'm in the works of getting some artwork done. So I have some actual thumbnails and things like that done, but that's still, even though it's being done by friends and friends of the podcast, that still costs money to ask someone to go spend, I'm not expecting someone to go spend hours and hours and give me something for free. It still costs, some money you got to throw their way. For a thumbnail for the channel and for the show and for another show, and, so for some art, so that if I do decide, if I can get a couple Patreons and I do decide to, do the StreamYard thing where it's not the, I'm getting close to, I'm going to run out of my StreamYard time again this month. It sounds like a lot, but they give you 20 hours a week of free StreamYard. But if you record, every Monday, that's for 3 hours, that's 12 hours. I did my one with Kylo, the recording. That's, another 3 hours. That right there, that puts me almost up to my limit. If I want to start doing, I have some, some other ideas that I know I've talked to you about, Anthony, about doing some books and going through some books. And that way I can do a live stream. And if you want to pop on, or anybody pops on and talk about the book with me while I'm doing it into sections, I can do it like that. But that, if I do that an hour a week in my show, an hour a week, I'm going to run out. So, it's all stuff that's up in the air right now. I'm not, this is still just a hobby for me. It's always going to be a hobby. I'm never going to be able to retire and talk. I'd love to be able to retire and talk all day long on Star Wars. Yep. Well,
Yes, it's always a hobby. So I want to go and take a look at your camera right now, Michael. Look. Yeah, right here.
I'm looking.
Want to go? I think this is a bit too bright, my camera, and I think you can't go and see that on my iPod. But
I
yeah.
cannot.
Oh, here we go. Let me back it up. You making that out a little bit?
Not really,
Says?
but I think enough that I can. It says that you are. Um. Oh, hang on. I just got a notification from
From where? From where?
this little thing I
Where did
belong
you?
to, called Patreon.
What's it? What? Yeah. What's that little thing you belong to?
Patreon, and I just got a new member, Rural Farm Boy.
Who's that?
Oh, that's the
Oh,
gentleman I'm
hey.
speaking to right now. My buddy over here on
Yeah, that's
um,
yeah, that's me.
Patreon. So now I can also let you know that this episode is also brought to you now by my third Patreon member, Rural Farm Boy.
Yes, my friends that is interactive with friends of theirs. That means something to me. I just become a Patreon of Tumbling Saber, and now I'm a new Patreon of Michael's channel. Also, friends, come join me on TooMedToo's Patreon channel. His time and what he chooses to share with you, worth your money. Take my word for it.
All right.
This is what we do.
Yeah, I was looking into. I talked to the guys from Bombadcast because they use StreamYard,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they do something like, let's see if I can do it. Let me find something. All right, I'm just gonna
Oh, they did that
StreamYard
recently. Oh,
share screen. Um, Chrome tab. Um, see if it'll let me do that. Okay, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. So, all right. So I don't know. Oh yeah, so you got it on the live. It should be on the live chat now. I can't go through it though. I need a different screen or something. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, that's my Twitter. Okay. So, no, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I really don't. All right, so that's me and you. But anyways, yeah. So I talked to those guys, and I figured out that I can do this with the screen sharing, and go over
mm-hmm.
here, and I can go like that to my Twitter, and now I can scroll through my Twitter, and let's say I was talking to you about whatever's going on. I don't even know if this is showing up. I can't see anything. I don't know what you guys are seeing right now, if you're seeing my Twitter or not. But so I figured out that I can do that, so I can scroll through Twitter now and say, let's say, okay, there's who posted things or whatever. If I wanted to find, oh yep, see, so there you go. I figured out how to do it, and that's all because of the fellas from Bombadcast. So now I learned how to do something else. I'll get rid of that. I'll go back to just normal. So now, if I have a book, or I'll go back to it for a second just to show you what I can now do.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a book, if I take pictures of the book, so like let's say whatever book I got, right, this is the first book I got right here, The Secrets of the Jedi. All right, I could theoretically take a picture of this book, of this page, and put it onto my computer as a picture, and then go onto my picture screen, which isn't really a screen, but for example, that was pull that up, and then I could say, here, look at this picture, and you and I could talk about that picture.
Mm-hmm.
of that book. So,
Oh, whoa.
yeah. So,
Whoa, Michael skipped out. And I think I'm picking him up on his channel. So we'll hold on for a little bit. I hope Michael's going to come back.
I'm back. I had done kicked myself out of the live stream.
So you did.
So here, this is
and
this is what I'm
there's
talking
your little girl on here.
Yep, somebody's around, maybe a neighbor. So let's just for example, boo boo. Shh. It's got to be a neighbor or my girlfriend. So I don't know.
No.
All right. What do you?
Let that little girl speak her mind.
Okay, now I don't know how old this book is.
Which book?
Oh. Okay, here you go. We're gonna try this one now. I don't really know where I am.
All right.
We're gonna see if this is sample. Okay, so
right there.
So StreamYard, share screen, Chrome tab, the Jedi Path. I don't know if you have it yet up there or not, but okay. I don't know if it's showing up there. I got to see. How do I? Oh. That guy right there. Put that there. All right, the Jedi Path. So now you see me and Anthony in the corner there. Now I can't see you. You can't. Well, I can't see you once I do this because if we want to talk about it, so I go over here and it's the book, The Jedi Path. And there you have the first page. Now a lot of these, like I'm pretty sure I have this book, but I also have the whatever. I have it on the computer also, on the Kindle version. So it's signed by Yoda, Dooku, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka, Luke, Darth Sidious signed it. I don't know why he would sign it, but you know, you go right into then, and we could talk about the Jedi Path is one of the most amazing discoveries made since blah blah blah, and then there's that blah 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 for you. I know you love that one, and then we can start discussing it and everything that it says. So, yeah, now that I have that, that's something that we can always look into for something in the future. And if I wanted to, I think I can make it just that. I don't know if that makes it bigger on the screen or not, or if it's the same size. If I just do that. So, it's the same size, I think. But I could probably go, see, I don't have a touch screen on here, so I'd have to figure out how to make it bigger through something else. But yeah, so that's that was something I wanted to try and do, but I couldn't really do it without pulling it up and doing it actually. So yeah, that's where we are. So now I just have to figure out how to zoom in on it. That changes the page. Yeah, so that's just something I got to figure out for myself, where the zoom is, because it's not a touch screen. That was one of the things. This computer got a little bit expensive, so the touch screen was a couple $100 more. I just couldn't end up swinging that much for every other little thing, but that's what Patreon and upgrades are for, to help me bring you better Star Wars loving. So, all right, now that we got all that out of the way, we'll fool around with that some other time. Oh, that's the other thing I got too. I'm going to go to that again because I have something that's really cool this guy right here.
And what's that? Are you
I'm
gonna?
trying to make sure I didn't write. No, I'm not unboxing anything yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to this guy and that guy, and it should be popping up here in a second for you.
Boy, who we got?
Maybe
Who
it's
or what
not.
we got?
Maybe we have the Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary.
Oh, I already have that. Yeah.
Well,
And I've been
so
digging into it quite a bit.
probably can do that and let the people see this, what we got. Um, and this is something else I could do. Some of the books I'm gonna have to do, over my shoulder or flip the pages with you. But this right here, I mean, this goes through. Here's the start of it, and um, go right through. Talk about how it started off in the forward, and get right into the timeline. The timeline has some people really upset. This is something I wanted to talk about. So yeah. Anyways, that's just something I've been working on, trying to figure out. But it's going to run through my chat time really, really quickly. So I mean, I go through enough. I don't want to make this chat shorter, and put a time constraint on there, and say, okay, we got to stop it now. It's 9:30 or 10:30 because sometimes it's just getting going at 10 or 10:30 by the time everyone shows up or whatever happens. But yeah, maybe start using some of that Patreon money and put some of that towards the getting the StreamYard, and I can start doing some more books and actually doing streaming with books. Streaming with books. There's a new series for you. But yeah, when I want to talk about that, I've seen a lot of people in the last week, and I don't know why it just came up in the last week or so, because this book's been out for a month, that people are starting to get really upset, and some podcasters that we know are getting really upset. Not this isn't my timeline, and I'm never. Why is Disney trying to ruin the timeline that we have? We're never gonna be able to redo it. And it's like, if you just stop and take a second and breathe and think about, okay, they're not trying to redo the whole timeline. This is a timeline for this book, just like Rogue One has a timeline and the encyclopedia or the visual dictionary. They're not trying to redo the timeline. They're just giving you a timeline for the book, for the story. Things are not revolving around when Hosnian Prime blew up, or the Death Star blew up, or whatever. I think Rogue One, it's when the Death Star blew up. How they have their timeline, I'd have to look. I don't remember at the moment. But no one's trying to redo the timeline. No one's trying to redo anything. People just need to, think about what they're getting their panties in a bunch over, because they're not redoing it. It's the timeline for the book. And even the story group said that it's not being oh, I like that. TooMedToo's books and boxes. I could change it up a little bit. Nice one, Chris King.
I like
well,
the sound
see?
of that too. That sounds good.
Maybe there we go. Maybe we have something else. Maybe we'll start hitting that bad boy up, and yeah, that lets me get pretty and fancy, because like some of the other guys have the background. So like right now, if I go to this, it's just black, and this is the flowers that they give me, or the leaves, or whatever the hell they give me. Otherwise, I can just make it. I don't want to start fooling around with this shit, because I'll. Yeah, now it's just black, but I can put a picture. I can upload a picture in there, and have it be whatever picture I want in the back. So I can have it like this, or when there's a bunch of us talking, whatever it is. So yeah, but put that back on there, put that there. I mean, so it's as time goes on, I spent actually 2 or 3 hours with Rural Farm Boy and Mr. Rez trying to figure out how to use this and what everything did. And I didn't know everything it could do, so I wasn't even going on half the stuff to do it. And now that I've seen other people do things, and the guys from Bob Cast really helped me out and like, oh, you need to do this or that, and so that really helped me a lot. I figured that out, and I said, oh, maybe I'll start trying to do this. But yeah, so that's where we stand now. But yeah, they're not trying to redo the timeline. They're just giving you a timeline. I'm gonna go grab that book. Give me a second. And, what did I do?
Buddy. Take your time.
Which book is it? It's one of these. Oh, and I have to say too, I have a bunch of envelopes from stickers from people going back to Christmas, and that I haven't thanked them for yet because I'm just really bad at shit like that. I'm still waiting to send out my thank you cards for my high school graduation. So anybody that's still waiting for those 20 years later, sorry. But yeah, I'm kind of a piece of shit that way when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, so all right, here I'm going to do this. So let's just see, since we got it here. Okay, I'm not sure how to make my screen bigger without. Okay, all right, there we go. I just want to make sure I don't lose anything. Okay, so back over here. Now that we're still playing around over here, Anthony, I know we have one of these too, but for those people that don't have one, and people in the chat, let me know how this shows up for you for how that looks scale-wise, what you can see, because my screen's a lot different because I have to have, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I just don't know how that looks for you size-wise. That's basically what I'm getting to. If you can really read that or not, or if I need to look at doing something differently, or something else you need to figure out. But you start off with the timeline, and it says this is a real record as it relates to the current galactic conflict. Events here are recorded in years relative to the Star Killer incident, the firing of the weapon that destroyed the Hasnian system, making the start of an open war against the First Order. And then, it starts off Senator Palpatine of Naboo, secretly the Sith Lord, Sidious, elected as Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Republic. And that is 66 BSI. So I was just reading what Anthony was typing, or Rural Farm Boy. So that's how it starts out. It tells you right at the beginning. This is a record of history as it relates to the current galactic conflict, which I would think that I'm not really a reasonable person, but You know, a reasonable person would infer that this timeline relates to this section of Star Wars history. It's not redoing the entire timeline. And Matt Martin actually came and said said that they're not redoing the timeline. This is the timeline for this book. For, you know, if we were talking about Empire Strikes Back, we're not going to use this timeline. If we're talking about this movie and how things relate to the Rise of Skywalker or this trilogy, that's a different story. You know, so I mean that was the one thing I wanted to brush upon, because it was just I was listening to, I don't know what podcast it was, I don't even remember, but I was going to send them a message and be like, I don't know what you guys are really. They were kind of getting a little upset. This isn't my timeline. This is my timeline, and I'm not sure if they were joking around or if they were being serious. Oh, it was Triple H. I'm pretty sure. It was Ezra and Triple H was getting really upset. Rural Farm Boy. And I was gonna send them. I was at work, and I was gonna text them on Twitter when I was listening. But I was listening to their podcast a week behind. I figured someone had already set them straight. But yeah, you know, it's just people getting their panties in a bunch, getting all up in arms about nothing. But yeah, so that's where it is. So now, can you guys in the chat, the way this is set up, see this? See this all right? For the way it is, like if you wanted to go along and read with it what it says, you know, the story of the Galactic Civil War has passed into history on countless worlds, the broken blah blah blah. I know Roll Farm Boy loves when I say blah 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 blah, but I can also do that and make it a little bit bigger.
Oh, I just forgot that I'm on mic with you.
Yes. Yeah, you're on mic with me, dude.
Yeah, I just forgot. Because I was paying attention to the live chat. Yeah, it's Matt and Ezra from the Hyperspace Hangout Boys. Hyperspace Hangout. Yeah, that's both of them. What they were thinking.
Yeah, they were to speak up. Yeah, they were getting a little upset about it, but
yeah, they were.
And but okay, so let's see. That's a little too big. I need to take that back down to normal. So yeah, I'm just kind of using you guys, my friends, as my guinea pigs, trying to get this figured out. So when I go somewhere, you know, maybe I'll pick it up and I'll do it. And I got to fool around with this and see if I can get rid of a couple of things. But you know, that's because I mean, even if that, I consider and talk about the book if no one comes in to chat with me. If someone wants to come in and chat with me about the book, I can do that too. So, you know, and maybe that will shorten up this Monday night thing. So it's not 3 and 4. You know, the other night when I did it with Trevor, I did it for 4 hours, and you know, I texted Trevor today and said, "Hey, are you going to be on tonight? Because I got some." Oh, that's cool.
Oh, Charles says use us. That's what we're here for. Oh, Charles, please come jump on the live chat. Pick me up. Pick my go up.
There you go. Anybody that wants to come in. I don't know who else is in here. We got Charles. We have Chris King. Yeah. Lauren, if she's still here, she's been kind of quiet.
No, Lauren's right there. I just seen her a couple minutes ago, a couple seconds ago. Miss Lauren's here. Mr.
Okay.
Rose is here.
All right, so there she is. I'd have to zoom in for us to be able, or for them to be able to read it. So if I zoomed in, let's say I say, okay, here's the big picture. Now, how do I got to figure out how I move it around? Because that just makes it bigger. That doesn't let me move it around. That moves the pages.
And I really hope that I seen earlier. I really hope that I seen earlier from the Ranko report is still here. Yeah, he's a newbie, but he's making some fast friends really quickly, and I hope he's still here. I really hope he's still here.
Yeah, so I got to figure out how to, because I'm losing.
Jameson, you still here, buddy?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how. When I make it that big, I don't know if that's easier for. Yeah, so I don't know.
Nick Adams
Oh, it's not even
is
on
still
right
here. Now. Nick Adams is still here. Miss Lawrence still here. And I know Charles from Conversation is still here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I need to, I need some input from you guys because, see, this is giving me two pages at once. This gives me one page. That makes it full screen, so that makes it a little bit bigger, I think. So if I did it like that.
That's from the ROS Visual Dictionary? I can see what you're putting up. That's from the Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary?
It is.
On Snoke?
Okay. It is. But I guess depending on what you're using to read it depends on, or to watch this depends on whether or not you can read it or not. The type on there.
Okay.
So like right now, I just went over to Leia Organa. It says data file Leia Organa, subject Leia Organa, homeworld Alderaan, species human, affiliation resistance. She's 1.55 millimeters tall. She's 54 years old, or standard years. But I guess depending on what you're using to, what size, I guess depending on what size your screen is whether or not you'd be able to read it or not. But I don't know how much different that would be if I took pictures of the book and actually did it that way. But that still knocks a little bit off of there. So. Yeah, see, so that still knocks off a little bit of the bottom of making it that big. Yeah, I'd have to do it like this at 175 to get the whole screen in there. I guess. And you just get 2 pages at once spread out. I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it any better than that for this one anyways. I guess it depends on each book. And we would just have to kind of go through it like that until I can figure out how to change where I have zoomed on the section. Like if my computer I was using was a touch screen, it would be a lot easier. But I also have to see if I use like my iPad, if I pull it up on my iPad, now that I know how to do this. See, that was the first. This is the first time I was able to figure it out with you guys here. So, I can zoom in far, but all right. Here's the thing. So this is at 100. right now. The zoom really doesn't change. I don't understand why the zoom.
Not very much.
I mean, I'm zooming out, and the zoom isn't changing. I mean, this according to this has it at 25%, but that's something I need to fool around with a little bit more. That has it at 25%. This is me back to 100. It doesn't do anything. But then when I get up to 200, it takes me down to one page. That's 175. So the 2 pages. That's 100. That's one page. But I lose the bottom part of the page when I do it that big. See, I lost the fact file at the bottom, and I can't move it up, so I'd have to keep it at 175 to get the whole page. But then it puts me at 2 pages instead of the 1. So that's something I'm gonna have to try and figure out, see if I can get that figured out. But at least that's the first step. I at least kind of now know what is going on. So thank you all for that.
Yeah, this is some kind of crazy because there's what is there? There's over just a little bit over 200 pages in this visual dictionary, and that's some kind of crazy. There's a lot to take in this last visual dictionary.
Well, I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here and go through and just read the book to you, and and say, okay, here, but okay, here you have in this top corner, we have the Tanta V4. I just went to a page, and then next to it in a box it says this, and then we have it has this and this and this. I want to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to talk about the book now. Anybody want to come on and talk about the book with me? And we start at page 1, and we talk till page 15 or 20 or 10, or if we end up talking about for an hour about 3 pages, we talk an hour about 3 pages. That's what we did. That's what we do. Anybody that's going to be watching this afterwards is going to think this is really a really boring episode because it's just us playing around. But yeah, so I mean that's what I want. I don't want to just sit there and read the book to you. If I just wanted to read the book to you, I could take pictures and put them online and just do it as a like a series, which I've done before with the book. I did it before with one of the books way long ago when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I was like, this is something I want to do. I'd open up the book and I had the camera on it and I'd read the page to you, and that was it. And then turn the page and read the page. And then I got done. I started editing the video and watching it, and there's a glare on half the pages. You can't see. And I was like, oh, well, I'm putting up on YouTube anyways because, I just spent 3 hours doing it. I might as well put it up there. And that was when I was starting off, and everyone said bad content's better than no content. Because at least you're learning stuff. But so, all right, yeah, that's where we're at. So now we got to try and figure some. Now I got that figured out. Now I got to figure out if I pull that up onto my iPod. I actually don't even know how good my when my girlfriend gave me her iPod that she got for work when she opened up the restaurant. She didn't like the iPod she had, so she got a new one and gave me her old one. I haven't even plugged it in, so I don't even know how old it is or what it can do. But if it's just for flipping pictures, I'm sure it's good enough. That's something that will work. But okay, so in the show notes, I need to put, if you're gonna watch this, don't start watching till minute 50 because it's just me and my friends trying to figure shit out for you. Oh wait, no, we forgot. We missed the whole Rural Farm Boy commercial for me. You need to stick through. Okay, stop watching after.
What?
Stop watching after minute 12. after Rural Farm Boy does my commercial for Patreon, and then start back up at minute 50. Because other than that, it's just a bunch of computer nerd shit where none of us are computer nerds, so it took us a lot longer to figure out than I think it should have. But okay, yeah. So,
oh yeah.
but I mean, the other thing too, when I was looking through here, I still haven't spent the time to look through. I was actually gonna do my bookcases. I was gonna do my bookcases today, and I ended up taking a 10-minute nap that was 3 hours. But this guy, I can't believe we don't have any more love going on for this guy. The guy that looks like he just took, an ear or a shell and split it in half. Or some other things it could be. I don't really, now that I take a better look at it, maybe that's why it didn't catch on. But an Okey Pokey. How come we're not talking about?
That's that little fella that's we get introduced to on Persona, right?
Yeah. But I had some. Let's see. There was something.
Cute little bugger.
I had. Okay, so let's see. My notes from my home. I think this is my homework for last week.
Okay.
Read visual dictionary. So I didn't get that done. I haven't sat down and read it.
Yeah, me neither.
And it's just I shouldn't say I don't know how people do it, because it's really interesting. It's just I don't know. It's like sitting down and reading a book. Not that I have anything, against that. I want to put my books in my ears, but it's just hard for me to sit down and read the book when I can, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just a lot easier to, if they put this on a computer, I could just sit there and flip through the pages, like I have, or have somebody discussing it with me. I think it would make it more enjoyable. But it's just finding the time, especially since I'm trying. I just finished up. I did the Rebels rewatch, and a lot of people are saying now, since Disney Plus came out, that weren't big fans of Rebels, they're really enjoying Rebels now, because they can sit down and watch it straight through, even without binging. If they're just watching an episode here and there, it flows together. Because the problem with Rebels before was they came out with 3 episodes and then didn't have an episode for 2 months, and then they had put out an episode and then didn't have an episode for a month. So now that you can actually watch them in order, it was pretty good. And I'm trying to do a Clone Wars rewatch that I started the other day. But, all this stuff takes time, and, 2 or 3 hours talking to you guys. And I did the live chat yesterday with Collecting with Kylo, and that was a couple hours. And, cleaning up after the Collecting with Kylo and hiding everything after the Collecting with Kylo. It all takes time. And I did the live chat before my collecting show, which was really good. I wasn't really sure what I was what to expect out of it, because some of the people that were invited to the chat, and I know some of the people that follow him over on the Grey Jedi Council.
GA from the Grey Jedi Council.
Yeah. I guess they call him Daddy. I don't know who does that, but whatever. Teach their own. But yeah, some
Daddy Lunga.
There you go. That I wasn't really sure what to expect, and I figured I was going to be one of the only people saying, what my viewpoint was, and it seemed like everyone agreed with me pretty much. So that was kind of, it's really weird, because in there you have some people that I think are identify themselves as the Fandom Menace, but
yeah, you stood your ground with that one fella. Yeah, he was from the Phantom Menace, and both you and GA also stood your ground with that one fella from the Phantom Menace.
but
And
that's the thing. He's one of the what I consider a weird one because he was respectful,
yes,
and
he
didn't,
was.
and
Yes, he
which
was.
I've never gotten that from anyone from the Fandom Menace before when you try and have a conversation with them. Which I think might
Exactly.
be where our buddy Pete was going a few months back. He just picked the wrong person to
Mm-hmm.
he just picked the wrong person to do it with. And that's all I'm
He
really going to
did.
say about that. If I
He
mean,
did.
we all know the story in here. This is the guy that was saying I should, when people were putting a bounty on my head and I should get beat up and trying to find people to come
Mm-hmm.
find me in New York City, he was egging them on. Did he do it himself or say, yeah, I'm going to put money in on it or whatever it was? No, but he was like, I want to see that. Make sure you get it on video, blah, blah, blah. So the guy's a piece of shit. And someday, maybe I will meet him face to face. And I'm not going to punch him in the face or step on his throat like he
No.
deserves. But I'll bring
No.
up the fact. I'll bring up the fact, I'll bring up the fact that this is what he said about me, and I would like to know why. Was it just for ratings and views and to get your Twitter ship up and your monetize a little bit more? Well, you're a piece of shit if that's what you're doing. But it was
It's
drunk 3PO.
yeah. It's
Mr.
all
Ed.
about personal. It's
Yeah.
all about personal opinion. What you think matters to you only matters to you, and
It was
what somebody else thinks matters to them matters to them. And if you don't agree, then agree to disagree. That's all it means in the real
Mr. Ed.
world.
That's what he
That's all
came
it
in here.
means.
He came in here trolling the one day, and
Yes, he did.
he got ignored for a little
I was
while,
here.
and then Rural Farm Boy kicked him out or just kept deleting his messages
Yes,
and
I
he
did.
left. And then
Yes, I did.
I was at work and Steele Saunders had a live call-in show, and he called into that show or kept in the chat room just saying just nonsense about whatever bullshit, and he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and he got ignored. No one said anything to him, and after 20 minutes of him just going on and no one saying anything to him, he just left. And then a couple weeks later, I get in an argument with one of the people who claims he's the head of the Fandom Menace, and all the people that were backing up were saying that he's their leader. When all that shit happened. But anyways, on a happy note, someone that's not going to put a bounty on my head and have me beaten up is Charles from Conversations.
Well, don't say anything about a bounty. I could use the money. Is the mic working?
I don't know if bounty hunters are going to get around these things. Yep, mic's working.
All right,
There's
cool.
our butts. Yes.
Woo!
Howdy, Charles.
How's everyone doing tonight? I'm very good. How about you guys?
Star Wars friend found here.
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Oh, and we have a couple of new people in here right now. We have Second Street Marvel.
Yeah.
Met him the other day, really quick. Great. Glad you could join us. I just said 3 words at the same time. Glad you could join us. Thanks for stopping by. Glad to have you. We have Ella Marie, which is James, I believe.
James?
If I'm thinking correctly, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But all right, so we got a couple people in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, Andy. Okay, Andy. Andy from Hall Chronicles. I was thinking it was James from
Rebel Scum.
Yeah, so yeah, that's where I get confused when people have their personal accounts and their podcast accounts and everything. No. That's why for me it's kind of hard because everything's mine. So my personal views are the same as my podcast views, are the same as my whatever views. And, there's no, if I say something that pisses somebody off in real life, or, my opinion that I wouldn't necessarily say on, Facebook. I have two Facebook accounts. One I post for family and friends. The other one I post for Star Wars. Sometimes they're intermingled, and I'll be talking to my, I'll post little pictures on my Star Wars one, which I don't really care, or I'll start, posting Star Wars stuff on my friends and family one. But that's just what happens.
No,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go and see James from Rebel Scum on his personal account, it's James Brissell. That's how you'll find him. And
that is
when
correct.
you see that, you'll know who that is.
Right. The same with Pat and I. Pat and I do the same thing. We trade things back and forth. I usually publish it, or he'll jump on once in a while. But everything that comes from conversations is planned out and talked about, and which makes it consistent.
Yeah. And me, it's just me. So, that's what you get. I don't have to worry about if I had a partner, is it what they think, or do I have to run it by them, or, are we on the same page? It's kind of, so sometimes I post under the wrong one, but it's still me anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so
I got a question. I had a question. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that's what we're here for.
There we go. So I was watching The Force Awakens, as one does, and so at the end, after after they returned from Starkiller Base and the destruction of Starkiller Base, Rey and Chewie, they come off the Falcon, and Chewie's holding Finn and gets him on the cart, and then Chewie continues to walking towards the base, and blows right by Leia, and not even a second, or even a sort of an emotion that came from Chewie. And of course, Leia was making a beeline for Rey, and so they embrace, and it's a beautiful moment. And as many times as I've seen this movie, this was the first time that really struck me as as a missing emotion, in the sense that Chewie just saw his life-debt best friend being killed by what most people would call his nephew, Chewie's nephew, that is, and came off the Falcon and walked right by Leia, who is probably the closest other human to Chewie, and had no reaction. And I know that obviously for the story, it's about the Rey and Leia moment, but not even like a touch or a glance or something. It was just very funny, and it was I don't know. It was after obviously the Rise of Skywalker that I watched it, and I think that there's a heavier weight to that scene that I was missing out of that scene. I don't know if anybody else has seen that or thought about that or picked it out, or it's been talked about a dozen times. I'm not sure, but it just really struck me 2 nights ago.
Well, I have noticed it and thought about it a couple times, and I have some mixed opinions on what it could be. Han and Chewie were best friends. Leia was Chewie's wife. So, your best friend's wife, and they were pretty much separated. Your best friend's wife, after, they're separated, you still have this kind of like big around, but, you still have your loyalty to your friend or whatever, not his wife, even though you're all friends together. I think it's a little bit of that. Because if you, in the beginning of the movie, it was the same thing. It was just kind of like, oh, hey, how you doing? Just ignoring each other.
Yeah.
So they might not have been on best terms, because, even though we find out that Leia says, go do your thing, Han, because that's what you need to do. You're a smuggler. Go. We learned that in the books. That's pretty much, it's not the fairy tale ending that we all wanted and expected. So instead of going crazy like some people do when they're two people aren't the, like some Raylos are doing right now and being really upset, and that's not my Star Wars anymore. Well, it's not my, I don't know what Leia and Han stand-ins are called, but it didn't end up like we wanted. So, it's kind of they went off to do their own thing. They still love each other, but the relationship isn't going to be what they wanted it to be. So I think that kind of has a part to play with it, because Chewie chose Han. You know, whether or not he chose Han because it was his best friend, or
Loyalty.
and loyalty, or because he knew he had to protect Han, because Han was going to get himself in trouble if it wasn't for Chewie, because Han led a kind of a rough life before he met Chewie, and it didn't ever turn out good, but it would have been a lot worse if he didn't have Chewie in his life.
Right.
And then I think it's also kind of like, I think that might be part of it. And then you also have Chewie just was there and stood there while he watched your husband get killed by your son and didn't do anything until afterwards.
Right. So
guilt. And if, Chewie had the choice to make, do I let this play out and see what happens? Or do I kill the bad guy we're after? But then that undermines what my friend's trying to do and bring his son back, which, brings on whole other conversations to what was trying to be accomplished there. But I mean, so that's really, I think it was just kind of like, I don't know what to say to you at this time. So, yeah.
That's fascinating. That's amazing. That's really cool. Because and I think that the interpretation that I had from that scene, or the lack of emotion from that scene, came from watching The Rise of Skywalker and seeing Chewie's tear-laden. I mean, I cried like a baby with that guttural cry when he found out that Leia had died, which is like almost the complete opposite. It was really the toughest part of one of the toughest parts of watching that movie. And then sort of rewatching that scene and having that lack of emotion. Obviously, things could be mended in the time, obviously, between The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker. So there's that, there is that connection again. But it was just that emptiness that I felt, that I knew it was coming at the end of the story, seeing an opportunity for a missed, even a glancing touch or whatever. But even, obviously he's a Wookiee, and they may not even communicate touch as an emotion with humans anyway. So it was just an interesting thing that really hit me a couple of nights ago.
Well, Chris King, why don't you? I just gave you the link for the chat. Why don't you come in here and chat with us about this? Because you got a viewpoint that we're not touching on yet. So maybe you can come in and discuss it with us. I know sometimes people don't want to come in or whatever. You don't need to be on camera. Throw up an avatar or picture or whatever. Yesterday I played at 3 a.m. I played Fallen Order in my underwear, laying on my bed. I was too lazy to get up and move the computer and put, I was in my boxers. Well, they're boxers. It's the same as shorts. It's not like I have on tidy whities or something. Or I was going command. It's not like I said I was. Anthony's laughing. It's not like I was laying there naked. I'm naked with the controller in my hand.
Charles is also laughing.
Gotta get that mind's eye out of here. Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't put the camera on, and I just laid there and I played, because it also took me an hour to figure out how to turn it on, because it wouldn't turn it on.
Andy just made a great point there in the chat. He said, I think we're thinking too much about this. The scene was meant for Chewie, just Rey to develop. And I agree. I think that's the sort of the point where I got to, was that connection for that moment. The story needed Leia and Rey together, and that embrace, and sort of like to absorb that emotional impact. And like I said before, I think it was about the, Chewie's reaction to Leia's passing in The Rise of Skywalker that just sort of resonated at that scene. Watching the movies out of in the wrong order in essence, but knowing what's coming down the pike. So
I think this is, we haven't really heard Rural Farm Boy's answer to it, but I think this is one of those great.
What?
Chewie didn't get a medal. Chewie didn't get a medal thing, and it's it's retconned that Wookiees don't care about medals, or he just wasn't given one at that that time, or whatever you can do to the they're not humans. It's a different species. They don't care about accolades for saving the world. That's just what he did. That's what he was expected to do.
Mhm.
He doesn't want a medal, which is, some people that are supposed to receive medals turn down getting the medal because they don't want it, because they just did what they had to do. That wasn't anything special. They shouldn't be brought out. But then Chewie was given the medal and he gave it away to a little girl. And, so there's so many things. It's, I think this is one of those things that it's a point that doesn't matter. But if we want to talk about it, we could spend hours talking about it. And
Correct.
I'm not saying your question doesn't matter.
No,
I'm
I
trying
know
to
what you're
say
saying.
that quick bypass in the movie. Like Andy said, we're dissecting this piece that we're not supposed to dissect, because the main he was off to the side, kind of. He was supposed to be, he's a side character at this moment, not the main character of this scene or this view, and not to be driven. So you're not really supposed to pay attention to it. But if they would have just kind of given a nod or something like that, that would have stopped the whole thing. But that's how it is for every movie that we're gonna talk about and discuss. And I didn't want to come off as your question wasn't important or wasn't a valid question or anything. I just think that it's like the whole did he get a medal, didn't he get a medal debate. Well, they at the moment no one said anything that he got a medal, because he's a fucking walking dog. So who really cares if he got a medal? It's then afterwards when people are like, wait a second, let me think about this. Why didn't he's my favorite character. Don't get me wrong, he's my favorite character. But it's that's what it is. So it's like the dog didn't, the police dog didn't get a medal, but the two cops, did. The army dog didn't get a medal when he went through the trash.
Hold up.
Oh boy, hit the brakes.
Hold up. You're asking, just firstly for me, and secondly for everybody else, what I think when Chewbacca gets Han's medal from the Battle of Yavin, what I think about that?
No. The question was his question about what you think happened, why Chewie walked right by Leia, and after he just shot her son who killed her husband, there was no emotion,
from TFA.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, at the end. Yeah. Well, not at the end. After the Starkiller base was destroyed.
Because Chewbacca was more worried about Finn, that he was going to stay alive. That's
correct. Because that's a good point.
That's what he was thinking. He was most worried about Finn, that he was going to be kept alive. That's why he passed Leia.
No, that's a great point. And
his thoughts was with Finn.
And he was returning that debt. Yeah, he was returning that debt that Finn had done to him when he was shot. So, no, another great point. I think Michael's putting on his Star Wars boxers again.
I don't want to see that. Don't show us that, please. You don't want to see me in my Star Wars boxers, but
I love that wallpaper you have behind you. The newspaper print behind you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Does it say 1930s to you, because it says 1930s to me?
You may have to zoom in a bit more for me.
I don't know if I can go and do that, but
yeah. But that's amazing though about watching the movies. Whether obviously with the end of the story, the details that come out in the 17th, 18th, 20th viewing, which is obviously the wonderful part about the entire trilogy and all the movies. In fact, is that those different details come out at different times, depending on the weight of a different scene, 2 movies before or 2 movies after, and that's what I love about it.
Me too.
Yeah, and then also too, what mindset you're in when you're watching the movie.
You're gonna, exactly. Exactly.
You're gonna pick up on different things.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
then your mind, depending if you're in a good mood or a sad mood or whatever, your mind's going to process or think of questions differently than you've noticed before.
Right. Yeah. And what scenes you could be thinking of another movie? Let's say, like I said, I had that Chewie scene on the brain, obviously, and that's what I picked out of the TFA because of that impact.
Well, maybe I'm a little bit different because it doesn't matter to me which Star Wars story I go into to watch, whether it's The Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith or Rogue One or a Star Wars story. I go in with one. I want to be told a Star Wars story. It doesn't matter whether it's The Rise of Skywalker, and I already have that story on my computer. Ain't gonna go and say how I got it, or The Last Jedi, or TFA, or it doesn't matter what Star Wars story I want. I go in with one want. Tell me a story. That's all I want. That's all I've wanted for 42 of my 53 12-year-old years. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Charles,
That's funny. Like Mike. Yes.
Can you back me up a little bit? You ain't as old as I am, but you're a little bit nearly close.
Yes.
Can you back me up?
100%.
Thank
100%. And without a plan of
story.
yeah, and without a goal of, let's say, watching the movies in order or whatever for a purpose to sort of get through them, you could pick up one night, I'll watch, like I said, TFA. Another night I'll watch A New Hope. Another night I'll watch Revenge of the Sith, or even Phantom Menace. And like Mike was saying before, those choices of those movies at that particular time obviously speak to a mood, and then those moods are going to determine how you digest that story that night and what you're going to pick out. And that's what's so great. Hey, I've got 11 movies to choose from. That's fantastic. Well,
yes, sir.
10.
As much as we love it, so there's some storytellers that want to tell you a story. It's not your story to be told in the way you want. They want to tell you a story, and we watched these stories for so many years, and we love them so, but we don't own them, and that's what some few folks are happy with. When they think they want to be told in their own way, it's not your pay attention to you. It's not about what we want. It's about what you're told.
I wasn't even saying it's about what you want. I'm saying, without even having expectations, if you've already seen a movie, so let's say we won't talk about how you have the movie at your house, Rural Farm Boy, but you do. And so do I, and so do a lot of our friends. That's why I only saw it 4 times in the theater. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go see it in the theater again. I can just put it on and watch a really crappy copy whenever I want to, or in the back or whatever. Not me personally, because maybe people I know, I should say, not me personally though.
Gotcha.
I should put it on right now. I should put it on, watch it while we're talking about this. But so when you're like, let's say, a month ago when I had to put my dog to sleep, I'm in a different frame of mind, and I'm watching the movie. I'm gonna notice things differently than I am right now, a month later, and I'm in a good mood because I just won $50 on a scratch-off ticket, which that didn't happen. But I'm just using that as an example. I had something that was really upsetting to me that put me in an emotional state versus the emotional state I'm in now. I'm going to notice things or maybe look at things differently, although it's not going to change my opinion on the movie, or, I just might pick up little nuances differently, I think is more of what my point was. I think I should know what my point was, I guess. But that was more what my point was. Yeah. So
what exactly is your point, Michael? Don't answer that, please.
My point is, I was actually someone told me that they were sending me something in the mail. So while I was here, I was just going to check the mail to see if it was down there. And
might it have been a Funko Pop? Maybe
it was not a Funko Pop.
Well, you don't like Funko Pops anyway, so yeah.
Dang.
I never said I don't like them. I said I don't collect them.
Right. Sorry.
But no, I went. So I went to go check to see if it was there, because that's one of the things. Well, someone told me they were sending me a Funko Pop, and it never showed up. And then I felt kind of like a dick saying, "Hey, just so you know, this never came. I don't really care about it. I just, it didn't come." And they said, "Oh, sorry, I haven't sent it yet. I was busy with Christmas and everything." And then about a week or two, I sent them another message. I said, "Hey, I don't really care about the Funko Pop you said you were going to send me. I just want to let you know it didn't come. So you can try and figure it on your end if something happened at UPS or the mail or whatever happened to this, whatever you mailed to me didn't come." But that was something completely different. This one, I went to go check the mail to see, because someone told me they were sending me something. And I went to go check, and it wasn't there. But I did get two other things in the mail, which kind of tie into what I was talking about earlier, about me not posting pictures of stuff I've gotten recently from internet friends and podcasters from Christmas, and stickers and things like that, or Tattooing and Sons. I'm in their sticker of a month club, so I get a sticker from them every month. And
wow, that's cool.
The first month or two that I got stickers from them, I put them on Twitter, and they've just been kind of ended up in a pile with a couple other ones lately. Oh, someone else sent me a sticker too for Christmas, and I didn't post it on Twitter, but I'll do that today and thank them for it. I won't tell you who it is, though.
I wonder who it is.
I don't know.
Oh, dang.
He keeps us in suspense while he takes a drink.
Yep. It was Charles and Pat.
Yeah.
From Conversations.
Good. I'm glad you got it.
Oh yeah, I got it. Well, that's the whole thing too. It's like something like that. It's it's more the thought that counts, and whatever this. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but it's not the fact that you sent me a sticker. It's the fact that you thought enough to send me the sticker. For whatever the reason be, and I know there's a limited number of stickers, so I got one that somebody else didn't get. So I'm grateful for that. Just like my hat that you always see in pictures of me. Actually, I wear it in the summertime. I don't have any pictures in the wintertime. My Star Wars spelled out hat that I have. Mm-hmm. There was only 50 hats, and I got them. And there's a lot of people that want those hats and can't get them because there was only 50 of them made, and I was one of the lucky people to get it. So that's honestly one of my best Star Wars memorabilia or pieces of Star Wars that I have, that I got, is that hat. And I wear it all the time. It falls off, and it doesn't fall off, but you know what I mean. It falls on the floor and stuff like that. So it's not like I have it in a shrine that I would something else. But okay, so.
Well, that's the whole point too. I think there's from our perspective that the great people we met in this community, and the sticker that we sent. Well, sticker, it was a little postcard sort of thing that we sent you, was an appreciation for what you do and the great content you put out and the support that you give. And we sent them out to a few key people, and I don't want to mention any names, but there's a certain person right now in our friendship sandwich between us here that we also sent something to. So I'm hoping that he got his as well. But it was just like a token, like you said. It's nothing. We printed them out here. We signed them. We wrote them out and cut them out, put them out here. But it's our stuff. We made that, and it's a sign of our appreciation.
Yeah.
It's a little something.
Yes,
And Andy, all right, you running it. I don't know what.
I'm humble.
I don't know what Mandalorian 5.
Go ahead, Mike.
I don't mean to cut you guys off. Well, I do mean to cut you off, but I apologize for it.
You're good.
Andy, Andy is taking off. He just got a message from GameStop that his Mandalorian 354 is in. I'm not sure which one that is. Hopefully, it's not the one that GameStop fucked me over on and didn't get in. You guys heard me yell about that enough yesterday, so I won't even get into that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I looked up that one. How I was talking back to that, but yeah. Yeah. So anyone that ever sends me anything, I am completely grateful for it. Whether it's just a message that says hi, or a card, or a sticker, or somebody sent me a Funko Pop that I got. Someone else is sending me some other stuff too, and it's just kind of like, I never, when I was younger and I was a kid, I collected baseball cards, and they were the most important thing in the world to me, and I wouldn't do anything to separate them. And I was dating this girl. I was 20 years old, and I was dating a girl, and in the mail, her stepfather got a couple monster boxes, so they hold depends on the box, but like 3,000 baseball cards that he got just from some guy in a collectors group, in a baseball card collectors group. And he went through and he looked through, goes through them. He looks if there's something he wants or needs, he takes them, and if not, he passes it on to someone else. And that I couldn't fathom doing that. Even at 20 years old, how can you sit there? Those are collectibles, and those are worth money, and this and that. In my mind, and like, I just didn't understand, like, as someone that collected them, and how he could just sit there and just send thousands of them away to somebody else. And now it's just like somebody sent me a Funko Pop, and that, because I don't collect them, they do. Or someone else sent me a Black Series figure because they had two of them, and they have two of them and they don't need them. So it's like, I have, if anybody wants an IG-11, let me know. If you want it to keep in the box as a collector, it's probably not that good condition, because that's the shit I went through with. You heard me. I'm not going to get into it again, but I've gone into it before. I went into it again yesterday with Best Buy. They refuse to refund my money and won't take them back. I have to mail them back. I guess we'll get into it. I have to mail them back, but UPS won't take them back in the condition, the box. So I have to repack them, and they have to be packed properly so I can prove that that's the condition they came in. So it's going to cost me more money to send them back than they're worth. And they basically told me, they said, contact your bank and stop payment on it. And that's fine, I will. So now I have, anybody wants an IG-11, let me know. Send me your address and I'll send it to you. The box is kind of the plastic is like completely destroyed on there with so much friction on it, just shattered the plastic on it. The other one, the box is just kind of, if you did a little work on it, I guess it would be okay. For a free gift for something, it's not bad. For paying money for something, I don't want it. That's not that I don't want it, but if I'm going to pay money for something, I want it right. But yeah,
want the right way.
Anybody wants an IG-11 Black Series, just let me know. I'll send it out in the mail for you. But like, see something like that, like, I didn't understand, like, with baseball cards, like, how you could just do that, or oh well, why you have two pops that are worth, this guy right here is the Sand Trooper. I bought two of them. I bought two of them.
That's one of them Funko Pops that you don't collect. That right?
That is correct.
Yes, Mike.
Good clarification.
Does not collect Funko Pops.
But let's see. So
Get that straight,
um,
folks. Michael don't collect Funko Pops.
I do
Get
not.
that straight. He don't.
Thank you for.
He just does so.
Yeah,
I,
it's written.
I don't.
It's
No,
written in
you don't.
slime.
Oh, did you see all the new Funko Pops that they are coming out with for the Empire
Yeah,
Strikes
Empire
Back?
Strikes Back. Yeah, Pat sent me some screen captures today. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those look fantastic.
They do. I will probably, even though I don't collect them, I'll probably be picking some of those up.
Well, for your unboxings, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, so like this guy right here, this guy right here, like I was talking about yesterday in the collecting show, it goes for. It says right now. I just scanned the barcode, and this is the Funko Pop app. It's actually the app for Funko Pop.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that one.
Funko Pop says that this pop is worth $40.
Wow.
But it can't differentiate on the barcode whether or not I got this at New York Comic Con or if I got this at a another convention or if I got it from Target. So that was, I'm pretty sure you can still find this guy at Target for $12 or $13.
Cool.
If not, you can find it on the secondary market for $20 or whatever it is. It all depends on if you have the sticker, and people actually get the stickers made up that say Star Wars Celebration or New York Comic Con and put that on there because, like that one I said that got sent to me from Funko yesterday. Charles, I don't know if you were on there. There was a bunch of people in and out yesterday. There, like Rural Farm Boy posted today, it's the most podcasters he's seen, and in one chat room, one live stream at one time. I mean, which is I think that's everybody in here right now is. I was going to say, well, everybody is except for Chris King and Nick Adams, but I have two. I mean, Rural Farm Boy is pretty much a podcaster. He's if he's not on a YouTuber, whatever, he's if he's not on one, he's on one. If you know what I mean. But and the same with the same with Mr. Rez. If he's not, he's always in the chat or doing whatever. Nick, I'm waiting for Nick to. I'm waiting for Nick to come on here sometime whenever he wants to.
Nick, get on here! Come on, Nick, get up here, buddy. What are you doing? Take my.
I mean, yeah, this is.
Come on, Nick.
Oh no, there's room. There's always room. We got more room. We can fit more people on here.
Always.
Yeah, Mr. Rez, I consider Mr. Rez. Mr. Rez helped me for that the first time I got on here for 2 or 3 hours. Well, StreamYard still the way they enticed you was unlimited power, unlimited stream time when they started off. And then they decided, okay, you get caught for 20 hours.
Yes.
But he was on there trying to figure out how to get this thing to work. But because Nick, I definitely do need that one. I will talk to you afterwards. But yeah, that's really cool. But okay, so anyways,
we should rebrand it Sheevyard.
That would be all right. So here we have.
Whoa!
Does anyone know what this is?
Nope.
Well, I know one person in here knows what it is. I think. So.
Who? Not me.
It's not me either.
So that's 2 of us.
We're gonna do this right
just
here.
Tell us.
Hang on, damn it, Anthony! I'm trying to get this. This isn't a suspense thing. I'm trying to use this equipment. Let's see. Go to that guy. Make that big.
Oh! Very nice.
Lauren and Andrea. Oh, I'm jealous.
That's really nice.
So that is my thank you to the gals from Galactic.
Galactic Podcast.
You know, I'm going to I'm going to have to start putting them on my computer so I can mark my computer, because I just have you know, I've seen a lot of people do that. Not that I really doesn't mean anything, but you know, I get these stickers. I just have them. I have. Well, I'm not saying either way they put it on there or don't put it on there, but I put it on the computer. It's got, if I lose the computer or you know, and I got to change the computer, you know, whatever happens, I lose those stickers. So I just have an envelope to save them. But you know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, do you want it in your, when you were a kid, you want to put the baseball card in your baseball spokes, or do you want to save it for some and put it in a book and save it for someday to pass on? Well, you know, they're both going to bring you pleasure. It just depends on which one you're going to do more.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is, anyone that is going to send me any stickers, I need to get at least 3. One for this computer, one for my next computer, and one to save. So just so we have that done. Funko Pops and Funko Pops and Black Series, just one will suffice. Unless you want me to take it out, I need 2. Unless you want me to do an unboxing, but yeah. So, oh no, I'm joking. I'm being, you know, seriously though. I'm, you know, truly grateful for that. You know, and I know giving me one means someone else didn't get to get one. Chances are, or you have a pile of them just sitting there and you're trying to get rid of them, and I was just one of those people. So, oh no, it's funny. It's like, I know people that got that went to Celebration and had pins made up and stickers made up or whatever, and they came back with tons of them because they couldn't give them away because they brought so many down. They didn't know the demand, or you know, how you know, how many they were going to go through, or sometimes when you get into it to get, you know, it's I'm just making this number up, but it's $100 to get 500 of them, and $120 to get 1,000 of them. So they say, okay, I'll get 100, I'll get 1,000 of them for the $20 more, and you know, all those are extra or whatever. So you know, I mean, I just tripped over my cord. I almost died.
Well, send us your Funko Pops first.
Shit, what did those do?
I feel what you're saying, Michael, and I'm humbled and grateful for the folks that sent me, and I've been sent some stuff from some of our Star Wars podcast friends. From Horse Toast, Miss Alice sent me a sticker for herself, and Miss Laura a sticker from their show, and I'm humbled and grateful for being sent a sticker from the Jedi Temple Archives, which is Rob, and yeah, they sent me a little bit more than just sticker and a card. They also sent me a mug from Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, nice.
And yeah. I was very humbly grateful. And oh geez, Pete Fletcher from his Around the Galaxy and also streaming Star Wars. Yeah, I got some swag from them, and our friends from the Jam Transmissions podcast, Pete and Josh and Miss Eden. Yeah, I got stuff from them, and oh geez, Clashing Sabers, Brendan Boylan. I got some stuff from them, and I'm just beyond humbled and grateful for the friends that I listen to, and also you too, Charles.
Well,
I got
thank you.
that Wookiee Steamboat.
There you go. Classic.
Yes. Yes. Send me that.
That's what I was talking about earlier. That I have to I have it sitting there on my bookcase. But that's the whole thing. Kind of more what I'm getting down to. I guess when I was talking about the
Yeah.
baseball cards and gifting and sending thousands of baseball cards to somebody else. They might not be worth a lot, or they could be worth 20 cents each. It's still a couple $100 that you're sending off to somebody. But he got them, and it's just everyone passes them around, and it's not a thing like you're going to find a Babe Ruth rookie card in there, a card that's worth a lot of money, but it's just something you need for your collection or that means something to you. It's the same as this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when I was at
it's worth
when
a
I was at
memory to
Yeah.
one friend. It's worth one memory to one friend.
And there's no price
That's
for
what
that.
means the most.
I got a ton of art from Chris Hall at Celebration, and
Oh wow!
there were some ones that I really like, and then a buddy of mine, he moved into his apartment. He's a bachelor, mid-20s or whatever, and he's still kind of slowly decorating as it goes on. So for his birthday present, instead of picking out a piece or two for him, I gave him a huge stack of art from Chris Hall, and I said, "Here you go. What you don't want, give back to me. But this way, you can pick out whatever goes, what that you want, and you can get it framed, and you can get it put up, and whatever it is. There you go. That's my my gift to you for your birthday. So that instead of me saying, "Oh, well, you like this guy? Okay, here you go," because even though there's another character that he might like more, this picture might go better with what he wants or what he has.
Right.
So instead of just sitting there going through and flipping through and say, "Okay, take this, take this, take this," it's just, here you go. Here's a bunch of stuff. When it's time, give it back to me. And it's not like I'm gonna. If I did go ask him for it, he would give it back to me. But it's not like he has it to keep. It's just it's easier when there are pictures like that to go than oh, I have this, this, and this. But I mean, it's kind of along the same lines of somebody said, "Hey, I got a Funko Pop in here. Do you need it?" And other people, "Oh, do you have this or do you have that?" Yes, I have it, or no, I don't have it. How much do you want for it? Some people, they want full price. Some people want just enough to cover shipping. Some people don't worry about it. It's yours. Anything in there, I can't blame you for. You want to give it to me for free, that's fine. You want to spend the $5 to ship it to me too, that's fine. You want me to pay the $5 for shipping, that's fine. You want me to pay full price for it, that's fine. It's all it all depends on what you want and your friendship level, and just kind of not even your friendship level, just sometimes you don't have. If I decide I have 15 Funko Pops over there that I'm gonna give away to people who wants them, that's different than I'm okay, just Venmo me or PayPal me the money for the shipping and I'll send them to you. It's different than me saying, "Oh, I know I have one you want, I'm going to send it to you." That couple of dollars, for me anyways, that couple of dollars is different than if I'm sending a whole bunch of them.
Right.
To maybe not necessarily to one person, but when you're sending them all individually, it's going to add up. So, that's kind of, I don't know. I think that kind of made sense. It made sense in my head. I don't know if it really came out. So.
It's about the generous community, which is a fantastic community. I have to back out, guys. I got to go put these younglings to bed here.
Okay. So we've been on for almost 2 hours and talk barely about Star Wars, which is a great thing because what are you gonna once the Star Wars well dries up, what are you gonna talk about? Well, we just talked for an hour and 40 minutes. We'll take a half hour out of there for me trying to figure out how to use a camera and software. But so we talked for an hour about nothing except for being friends with each other, which is great. I mean, that's what this whole thing is about. But
we talked.
We're far more. I know, but we talked a little bit, but not sat down and whatever. But that's what I try to explain to the people. Like, that's what this podcast is about, or this the Bacta tank. Where is it on here?
This is what we do right here. This is what we do.
The Bacta tank live chat. We just sit around and we bullshit about Star Wars or Star Wars related things. And if it's not related to Star Wars, if it's not related to Star Wars, it is because that's what brought us together. So I was on the Great Council. Checked out his live chat that went on after Rebel Scum.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about Dune, and I was like, oh, this is something to fill our Star Wars void. And I didn't mean actually fill our Star Wars void, but it's something that, you know, if you're a Star Wars fan, you might like this because the 80s stuff wasn't really that good for Dune. You know, they have a good cast. Hopefully this is better than the stuff that came out, the miniseries in the 80s or whatever. But I'll let you run along now, Charles. I won't keep you. I know you got kids and stuff.
Cool.
So
all right, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having us in, and we look forward to the next time.
Yeah.
Good night, Charles. May the force be with you.
You too.
All right, Lauren. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Aw, I'm so missing the live chat because I'm just keeping up right now with on StreamYard, so I can't see I'm not taking a look at what's happening on the YouTube live chat. But thank you, Michael, for having me again.
Well, everyone that's on this live chat, whether they've been involved in the Bacta tank. I guess this is what Anthony and Aaron right now is the Bacta tank. On the side is the live chat. So I guess that's the Bacta tank. Anyone that's been in the Bacta tank and anyone that's been in the Bacta tank has an open invitation to come back. Especially Rural Farm Boy. You know, he was there when it started. He helped me get it going.
I'm humbled.
It's
very humble.
It's kind of like if it wasn't for, who knows where it would be if it wasn't for Rogue One, with them, finding me at that time. Who knows where I would have ended up in the Twitterverse and in the fandom, and who I would have locked horns with, and whatever that is. But and then even after that, and started my own thing, and I fucked around with it for a year, and even after Celebration, didn't know the majority of you people, if not all of you, and didn't know Rural Farm Boy until in a live chat or shared on Twitter and this and that, and then we started talking to each other back about Star Wars, and now it's just that's how the community grows, and it's all we send each other stickers and figures, and we're there to talk about things, and whether or not Chewie, what was Chewie's mental state during the divorce of Han and Leia, and if you can do it respectfully, that's a good thing. But
well, I got same what you're saying, Michael. You and me found each other the same way that me, myself, and Charlie Skywalker found each other. Me and Charlie done a couple shows on his channel, and you and me, well, how long we been going on now? What a few months. But you and me and Charlie and so many other friends are tied right here. And we do things in other ways, but we're all found together right here.
Yep.
And I hope it gets bigger and wider, because now we got Jameson from Ranker Report, and
he was in here.
Miss Lauren from the Galactic Podcast, and we got so many more friends. And I hope it gets bigger and wider, because you and me, we want so many more of our friends together.
It's like
together.
As you were just saying that, I was looking at, I got the title underneath here, Bacta Tank Live Chat, and I was like, Bacta Tank Live Chat, where creators come to talk, and that's what, like you were saying, it's
yes.
we don't get, I don't get a lot of people coming in that are just like, oh, hey, I want to see what's going on, because that's more what the news channels are for. The ones that have, you know, the first 15 minutes we do this, the next 15 minutes we do this, then we do this, then we do this. You know, this is just kind of, you know, what, yeah.
Then
Andy,
then we
Andy had a,
tag
Andy had a,
we tag
Andy had a
so
few
many
minutes.
more outside friends and draw them in. That's what makes it bigger.
Yeah,
We've
Andy had a
got
few minutes, so he
so
stopped.
many more
He
friends.
stopped in, and he got a call, so he had to go. And Charles had a few minutes, so he stopped in just because he had a question. You know, and that's the whole thing. You have a question, you stop in, you ask your question, and you can leave. It's that way. You have 5-10 minutes to talk about it, and you know, then you can leave. If people did that all day, that would make me happy. Talking with just me and you all day, you know, makes me happy. That's what you really need. So,
Exactly.
I want to go because I gave myself homework last week, and I didn't do well
What
with my
kind-
VD. I didn't do well with my VD, visual dictionary.
what
I didn't read
kind
the
of
visual.
homework?
I was supposed to read the visual dictionary, which I just skimmed through.
Yeah, me too.
But the Jar Jar story, we started talking about that, but I didn't know much about that. But I think it just came out Sunday or Monday of last week, so there wasn't a lot about it. But Jar Jar is supposed to be in the new Kenobi series, and he's supposed to have a beard and this and that, and you know, so that was there's really not a lot about it. Jason Ward of Making Star Wars, who is you know, an incredible guy. I've met him and spent time with him. You know, for me, he's one of the nicest guys. We have Jar Jar.
But you're maybe not familiar with Jar Jar's story through the Aftermath trilogy. Do you know of his story in the Aftermath trilogy? About him being like a little bit of a street urchin?
Yeah, he was.
So,
Yeah, he was like. Yeah, he was like a juggler or street performer. Yeah. So, well, no, I'm just saying with, you know, what we have from there. You know, I'm not still saying that he's the senator or the representative from Naboo. I'm just saying that all the information we have is that he's supposed to be in the new movie, and he has a beard. Which, why he has a beard, I don't think is any fucking big deal. But that's what the story coming out is he's got a beard. So that was the one.
Well, we'll see what that is.
The other thing that my homework was, I did not know what species Ahsoka was, because she's not a Twi'lek. We were some people said she's a Togruta. See, you weren't there. You weren't here last week, Anthony, when we were talking about that. So that was the other homework that you know.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
Well, you can't be everywhere. You know, you get a little bit of time off here, there. You know. Let's see. Cartoon. I don't know what that means. I have cartoon in my homework, but that could have been from something else. Oh, I was watching YouTube clips of Mark Hamill and oh my god, I can't think of her name right now. I've gone a complete blank. Princess Leia.
Carrie Fisher?
Carrie Fisher. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. That's like really bad.
You're good. Gotcha.
But watch it, like, so that was the thing. So there were clips from 1983 or 1984 after either at the time of the Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi, either before it came out or after it came out. I'm not sure. But like even David Letterman was treating Carrie Fisher when she was on as a joke. Even though these movies were huge back then, but just like like not as a joke, but the movies were a joke. Probably, you know, like even though they were big at the time, probably have no staying. Well, they might have thought at that time that they had no staying power, or you know, people want to be talking about afterwards. It was just like he said, like one of the things he said, and he probably didn't mean anything by it. He called it Revenge of the Jedi, not because it's what it was originally called. He thought that was the name of it, and he was like, "Oh no, I mean Return of the Jedi." And he was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just some movie in space." And I don't think it was meant like as a joke. It was meant like, who really cares about this movie? Because in 5 years from now, no one's going to be talking about it anymore. Just it was just weird the way that he was acting towards it, and I think a lot of the people were acting towards it.
Okay.
But then that was when he was talking to Carrie Fisher. Later on, when he talked with Mark Hamill, he kind of had a little. You can tell by his hair was a little bit different. He kind of had a little different tone about it. I don't think it was a Carrie. I don't think it was a Carrie Fisher thing. I think it was just the Times thing. Like, okay, you had this movie, and 5 years ago or 6 years ago, it was the biggest movie in the world, and then you have another movie that did well, but I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm sure if you just go look up David Letterman interviews from 1984 or whatever on YouTube, you can see it. I just thought it was a little weird. But the one thing that I found out that was really interesting was Carrie Fisher saying that for Ewok knees and Hut knees, that they went to, I forget which college that they went to, but they got actual linguistics experts that created the language for them. So it wasn't just George Lucas going and making these noises or doing whatever, or someone coming up with it. There was an actual linguistics expert or department or whoever it was that put the Ewokese and Hutnese language together, at least for whether it was the full language or just for what was going to be spoken in the movie. So that I thought that was really interesting. I just heard that a couple minutes before I came on here, so I didn't really have. I don't know. I should make something like that up. And it didn't seem like she was, but then again, with her, you never know what the fuck she's making up. She seemed kind of sober though, so that was kind of nice. But yeah, it was just the fact that, that again, how can you can't really tell if she wasn't sober. So, yeah, so that I just thought that was really interesting that she was, or that they got a language expert, because if you watch the Die Hard movies, and Die Hard, the original one, the Germans who are speaking German are not speaking German, they're speaking nonsense words. They didn't get someone to write German language or use a German dictionary to change their words or whatever. They just made sounds that sounded German, or put together sounds to make up words that sounded like they were a German word to use for that, which is what I thought was interesting. And then the other thing, since we're talking about Die Hard, I was just thinking about it. This was one of my points when I was on that chat yesterday, which was, I didn't go on there reluctantly at all. Not knowing what I was going to get, the Grey Council. He said he invited some people, and he also said if there's anyone else that would like to join in, let me know. And I volunteered. I said, hey, I'd love to come on and talk to you, about Legends. And I figured I would get a lot of opposition, especially once he sent a group invitation to all the people, or the StreamYard. Like I go through when I send everybody, or a lot of people individual, I go to their Twitter account and I just send them the StreamYard link for today's show. He had it grouped, everybody they invited, into a thing, and a lot of people on there are from the Fandom Menace and have the Fandom Menace as a hashtag in their bio. And when I saw that, I was like, well, we're going to see how this goes from here. Some of them are like, oh, I think Jeremy is the greatest person in the world. He's the best YouTuber. I love Geeks and Gamers. And I was like, well, he's shit, but whatever you want to do for entertainment. I'm not doing this for entertainment. I'm doing this to have fun and talk Star Wars. You want to watch him for entertainment, like Zero, that's something else. But like one of the things why I was sitting there talking with them, and And the one guy came on, and he was only on for a couple minutes because he had problems with his internet. He said, "Do you consider Disney movies canon?" And he was told, whether you like it or not, it is canon because they own it. You might not like it, but it's canon. You know, and
now
and
that's where that just for me, that's where I disagree. Just for me, Disney doesn't make Star Wars. Lucasfilm does. Do we ever hear folks say Marvel, Disney? Disney makes Marvel movies? No, we never hear that. So why does it come up time and again how Disney Star Wars? Because if Disney doesn't make Marvel movies, why does folks keep saying Disney makes Star Wars movies? Lucasfilm makes Star Wars movies.
Chris King, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. We probably won't be on much later. Earl Farmboy's got to go to bed, and I've done a bunch of
bedtime's
streaming.
coming up soon.
I've done a bunch of streaming, and I gotta make sure I got enough time to get my streaming for next week. And if I do any book stuff,
be with you, Chris King.
No, Anthony, I agree with you 100%. But a lot of the people that say Disney Star Wars also say Disney Marvel. But yeah,
they use what a lot of the people think. I don't care what a lot of the people think.
I'm just answering your question, but I agree with you because saying Disney instead of Lucasfilm is an easier way to get their narrative across than it is to for it's easier to say Disney than it is for their narrative. But yeah, so I'm gonna open up this bad boy too.
What's that?
I got this. An envelope.
Wait,
I had something else I wanted to talk.
Envelope?
I had something else I wanted to talk about today.
Well, I can't say what's in the box, so I have to say what's in the envelope.
Well, there's going to be one of those coming up soon too. So this is from the Bad Motivators.
Oh, Luke, Dallas, and Eric.
Trying to open it without messing it up, but I'm not doing too good of a job. I got bent by the mailman anyway, so.
Do what you can.
Got a little crease in there, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna get rid of you for a second, Anthony.
Do what you have to do.
And we're gonna get rid of this guy. Well, not that. I don't even know what the hell's going on anymore. Banner.
You have to do.
Okay. We got this.
Oh, that's their new art.
Yep.
Look at that. That's her new cover page.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is when I don't know. I can't see. So, yeah. This is one of their T-shirts also.
I can see. Yeah.
This is Chris Hall.
Oh. Everybody go buy Chris Hall art. Go take a look at what Chris Hall's doing.
You can find him on Anthony. What podcast is he on? Since you're the podcast king.
The Scruffy Nerf Herders.
Scruffy looking podcasters.
Yes.
All right. And here you go.
Go
You
to
can
Chris
find,
Hall's page, Chris Hall Art. Go buy Chris Hall Art. He is
it's not,
so badass.
I can't get this in the picture to focus.
I can see it. We can see it.
Okay. I'll put that in the show notes for anybody that wants that too. And then I also got the Bad Motivator sticker.
Them sons of bitches won't send me a sticker, but I love them so.
Well, I'm one of their Patreons, so I'm in their
Yeah.
sticker package. So, you know, and like I said, you can't be jealous that somebody got something and somebody else didn't get it, because I got that.
You earn what you pay for.
You earn what you pay for, and
Exactly.
sometimes you get things that are just gifted to you. So,
hey, I'm a Patreon of your own show.
you are.
I am.
So once again, anybody that's checking onto this, if you wanted to become a Patreon like Rural Farm Boy,
Do it.
you just go on to Patreon TooMedToo.
So simple.
It's in my notes, and you just give whatever you can. $1, $5, $150 a month. So, that's all. I don't have any tiers set up right now. If you give me $150 a month, I'll have tiers. But I don't have actually any tiers for what to send you. If I get some more people in there, maybe I will. But I got something. Too bad there's not more people in here to see this.
Spread the word. Spread the word. Michael's going to Celebration next year in August, and he wants to do a live stream to include those of us, like me, that ain't going, and he wants to include us to go and do all things around Celebration. Tell them where to go. Tell them who to talk to. Tell them what you want to do, what you want to see. Go to his YouTube page, subscribe, and say, Michael, go left, go right, go up, go down, go talk to Eric Struthers, go talk to whoever he sees in front of him, another Star Wars podcaster. Do that. Subscribe to his page and ask him to carry those of us who aren't there to go do where he's going, what he's doing.
And I'm hoping to be able to do some live streaming from Disneyland. I'm not sure. I was talking with some of the people that I'm talking with some of the people that I'm going to be in the house with. Our Airbnb, and we're right down the street from there. And some of them have season passes to Disneyland, and they can get in. The way I think their passes are, they can get in Monday through Thursday. So either go if they don't do like a Disney After Dark where you can get in, but that's still going to be tens of thousands of people every night that want to get in on there. So if it's just a separate day or whatever, but I can live stream from there or do whatever. But
yes,
yeah,
hit them up, share them around. Hit them up and share them around everywhere.
If you can't, afford to send me a couple dollars a month or whatever, hit subscribe. That means as much, because I need those subscriptions as much as I need money to buy that new camera that I need. So, it all works out. So here we go. Anthony?
Oh, what's in the box?
Box? I'm about to tell you. This is actually pretty much the end of my merch.
I will bet it's a book.
I will bet you are wrong, sir.
Dang. I'll bet I'm wrong.
It is
It looked
from
like a book.
we have from
Dang.
Triple Force Friday. It is the First Order Stormtrooper.
I want that. I ain't seen one down here in Western Pennsylvania in pretty much never.
Huh. This is interesting.
That's what I said.
Now I have what's in the box. The other thing that's in the box is
What box?
the Second Sister Inquisitor.
I seen that, but I didn't pick it up. That's on me.
You can see it right now behind me too.
Mm-hmm.
We got the carbonized version of that.
Ain't seen that.
So yeah,
I seen the first one, and I ain't seen the carbonized.
that's what I've had. Well, you can't see it a lot of times because it's behind my head. And then the last one. This doesn't finish the wave. There's still you have Calcetus.
Yeah, I seen that.
I'm actually starting to like his. Now there's actually quite a few from that. Not the first wave, from the second wave that I don't have. I'd have to look and see, but I don't have the Janna. I don't have the Cara Dune. There's quite a few from that wave for the second wave that I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
I could get them easily, but you have to. The easiest way for me to get it, I could go on. Yeah, I could go and order them. I just haven't done that yet because, now those I do collect. Those I collect. I can say that I collect those.
The Black
and then
Series?
The Black Series I collect.
Okay.
Not every single one of them. There are some of them that I look at, especially the older ones, and I say I don't like that figure, or I don't like, even though I like that character, I don't like the way that one looks. I think I have 3 or 4 different Chewbacca's. I don't know if that's all of them. I have 2 or 3 different Darth Vaders. I don't think is all of them. But then, so that honestly, that does it for my actual merch. Oh, no, that's not
So
true. I still have.
You've opened everything that you got.
Well, I still have a smuggler. I still have a smuggler's bounty box. To open.
Okay.
So, but that's an older one. Now I have some books to open that I hit up on. I do have books to open still. So that counts as merch. I have. While I was doing I looked through Amazon and I found. I already had these 2 guys. These are with me for my Clone Wars rewatch. This is a Clone Wars visual guide. This is the Clone Wars character encyclopedia.
Does
I got the.
Does Corey Wolfpack know about that?
Probably. I would assume so. And then I ordered used.
Never make assumptions, Michael.
3 or 4 Clone Wars books. One's like the best battles, one's vehicles, one's something else. 2 of them are over there in a pile unopened. The other 1 or 2 are still on the way. I have a couple other books. I really wanted the Art of Clone Wars book. But no, that's way too expensive. No, even
like how much expensive?
I haven't looked other places. Well, on Amazon used, it's like $160.
Whoa, that's a bit much. Wow.
Other places I saw it around the same price. Actually, I found one out of, where was it? Some country in Eastern Europe. I found some book site that linked me to in Eastern Europe, and it ended up being the same amount of money. It ended up being $160 American. They didn't give it the American price. But now here's this book. I'm pretty sure I know which one. I'm pretty sure I know which one this one is. I can't see. I haven't opened it up yet. But if this is the book I think it is, well, because I know what I ordered, so this is the only one that makes sense on what it is. There's this guy right here. I'm going to shrink you down again, Anthony. I gotta. How do I shrink you down? So this guy right here. This is another one of those books that I would probably never get because it's a $200 book. But I found it on Amazon for $30.
Yeah, but you got it.
So yeah, $30 for the book. You know, I can handle that. Especially when you see what it is.
Hell yeah.
So it's in. I think it was in good. They called it good condition, which you can see. I don't want to show you what it is yet, but you know, it's a little bit banged up. You know, hopefully the book itself is in a little better condition. I'll show you right there. Oh, so here we go.
So would you say it's in good condition?
For what they consider, I mean,
no, what you consider.
Not until I open it up and see. But since it's just the cover, that doesn't really mean too much to me. Before I show you, I will. Oh, here you go. It's this book right here.
Oh, I vaguely recognize the cover, but
Star Wars Chronicles, the prequels.
Oh, that one.
Not to be confused, but now there's another Star Wars Chronicles book, but it's different than this. Obviously, this one's prequel.
There is.
But it's like, so I mean, it's popping open here. Like that's the top of it. It's supposed to be closed. So it slides out, and you see you got Darth Vader into there.
Whoa!
And you have Anakin
in
it. The book itself seems to be okay.
So it's in good condition for you, in your opinion.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. You know, this is something that I'm going to have to look into because this is something else I might like to do.
Good.
Where, you know, I can actually, so I'm going to show you here just because this is where we'll look at it later. Well, yeah, you can look at me looking for a second, but
take your time.
But okay, so it starts off with you know, some decent art. You know, that's how it starts off. You know, it is a prequels book. But it starts off with all right, I'm gonna try something here. So I always pull things up to there. So we're gonna see how this turns out. That's my fat stomach, so everybody can see. I gotta figure out how to.
You're good.
Do this with the glare to get rid of the glare, but okay. So.
Oh, clone troopers.
Clone troopers.
Yes.
It's having trouble focusing.
Back it up a bit, Tom.
Okay, there you go. Shock trooper, clone trooper. All right.
There we go. Yes.
So obviously they give you the height. They're all 1.83 meters because they're all the same height because they're clones. But it gives you the clone trooper. See, I'm just trying to.
I see a shock trooper. I see Commander Neo. I see Commander Bacta. I see Commander Bly.
Well, they're giving you.
Um,
So the first one that's kneeling down is just the shock trooper. Then the second one they give you is a clone trooper from Felucia. And then you
Commander
have
Bly.
a clone trooper from Utapau, a clone trooper from Selamakami. I pronounced that wrong.
Saleucami.
Saleucami.
Saleucami. Yes.
Then you got from a clone trooper from Geonosis. See, I'm trying to get it so it's just a better picture, but
I see Commander Neo. That's who put down. Oh, what's her? Stas Alley.
and that's also with me. That's also with me holding it too. So if I had it stationary, it might do a little bit better focusing because you don't have, even though my hands don't shake that much, or very limited.
No, you're
Um,
good.
well, it should be
Good.
focusing. Like you should be able to see Jar Jar Binks right now. And you can kind of make it out, but it's not clear. And it just goes through the Old Republic and go. So I mean, I might be able to go through some more pictures, like some more books like that. You have the Jedi. Oh, I got the. Here we go.
Here we
For
go.
Jedi, because now this is 1/16 scale on here. You have Palpatine,
I see him.
Anakin, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon. Then you go down to the Sith. You have Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Darth Vader, Darth Sidious. Then you get into all of the spaceships. And also if I so for example, I know this is different, but well, it's not different, but if I was able to live stream mobily, I could use my cell phone instead of my camera, which my cell phone can do ultra high D picture resolution. So you could get much better. So I could just use my phone and go over it like this instead of,
Like
why is
this.
it? Yeah, so I'm waiting for Yoda's escape pod to focus, but it's not focusing. And it's supposed to be an automatic focus. So yeah, so I mean, just stuff like that. It's that's something else I can always also try and figure out and bring on there. And do, and it gives you, and trust me, like I was joking earlier, what are we going to talk about when there's no more Star Wars to talk about? We got Star Wars to talk about.
There will never be no more Star Wars to talk about. There will always be more Star Wars to talk about.
If we would,
doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter which trilogy, or which. I'm losing my words. It doesn't matter which trilogy or which 3 stories in 3 arcs of 3, there will always be more Star Wars to talk about. We need to talk about more Clone Wars and the Clone Wars movie and Star Wars Resistance and The Mandalorian, and there's always so much more Star Wars to talk about.
I'm pretty sure this is a Pablo Hidalgo book too. But this is where you get into the funny time of, I think this book is 2000 and something. I'd have to look real quick, but
take a quick look, either up front or up back.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But sometimes it's some of these books.
To tell you.
Yeah, they have them in weird spots sometimes with these books, or they don't have them at all.
No, they do.
Well, it's not in the front.
So it's got to be in the back.
It's not on the back.
I think you're missing a page or two. Take your time. Slow it down.
It could be. But I mean, there's the index, so it's not in the index.
No, it's past the index. Take a look. It's past that.
The making of
Slow
like this,
down.
the making of episode 3. Darth Vader rises. Mustafar has the art for. I know this isn't the best camera right now because I'm just messing around with it, but showing you. But
No, you're good. You're good.
Mustafar, Yoda versus Sidious. Then it breaks it down. Get it like that. Discovering the true mastermind behind the plot. The two adjacent positions aboard the Chancellor's podium are normally reserved for the Vice Chancellor and Executive Aide, and it breaks it down, that way and gives you more information. Just more information on the book. Like if someone's asking you who sits next to the Chancellor, I don't know, but now you
all
do.
right. There's a trivia question for you, Michael. Who
Yep.
is the Vice Chancellor? What's his name?
I would get funny and start asking questions, but I have no idea.
Here's a couple hints. He's got blue skin. He's got 2 tall horns that go up above his head, and he's also got 2 how do I want to say 2 more horns that go below his chin on the right and left side. And he's got a snake tongue.
I have no idea.
And Masamita.
Masamita. Okay. Now you see this, Anthony?
Yeah.
Right on the second page.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Stephen J. Sansweet and Pablo Hidalgo.
Whoa!
So, those are the authors of the book. And then we go in the copyright.
What year? I'm just curious.
2005.
Whoa! That's a ways back.
Yep. So it is technically not canon. Well,
no, but I'd still be interested in that for sure.
Well,
for me.
Well, see, this is the way I feel. The way I look at it. This book is canon. This book is canon because it's an encyclopedia or a dictionary or whatever, however you want to put it. This book is canon. Unless something in a new canon book says it's not. So it's like
agreed. Absolutely agreed.
So what are the names? So in episode 2, the name of, or what are the little creatures that go through the window from the to try and assassinate Amidala?
You mean the little snake-like kind of worms things?
Yep.
Coons.
Yep.
They're called coons.
Yeah. Well, they're arthropods.
Just try to trip me up on Star Wars trivia, Michael, please.
I know they're arthropods.
I won't equal Alice or Miss Laura, but I love Star Wars trivia. And
I know you
them
do.
2 girls, them 2 girls will beat my ass every time. But I love Star Wars trivia. But yeah, I think we gotta try to kind of find a way to do some Star Wars trivia show where just us friends can have some kind of fun doing that. But don't aim to ever try to equal up to what Miss Loris or Miss Alice can do. Because they'll best me or any of us any other time. But I loves me some Star Wars trivia
I know.
every
It's just,
time.
I mean, it's just, this is one of those books that you would love because,
I so would. I so would.
it gets into, you know, Harmony Bagua, who's the waitress
Yep.
at Dex's Diner,
Yep.
and it shows you the ordering pad or whatever the hell she's, using for whatever the hell it is, and just stuff like that.
Mhm.
Nobody knows who she is. And don't say I do, so that's not nobody. You know what I mean when I speak the way I speak.
I
Son of a
was just
bitch.
gonna say I do, but now I can't.
Um,
So here we go. Here we go. Here
but I
we
mean,
go.
it's just it's just the way that they break everything down and talk about it. And
Yeah, them the little details that geeks like us love so much.
then we have
We love them
Two Ghosts
details
Come
so
Behind Me.
much.
So, did I ever show you the pictures? I have pictures of that place. The secret
Which
wedding.
place?
Well, on Naboo,
From
where
from
Padme,
Attack of the Clones.
yeah, where they get married. I have pictures
Yes.
from there. My girlfriend not this past summer, but the summer before, she spent like 3 months in Italy or 3 months in Europe on vacation, just traveling around and having fun. And she went to, I forget, I can't think of the name of the place. It has like an American name. Um,
The
I can't think.
palace?
No, the actual city where where it was filmed. It has like an American name.
I know
Yo,
what you're speaking of. I
what's
know
that
what
Star
you're
Wars place in
speaking
Italy?
of.
Lake Como. It's Lake Como.
Yes,
Um,
yes, 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 yes.
um,
She picked you up.
she
That.
she was well, no, she was in
Yep.
Italy and she was there. She was at Lake Como, so she went and took the tour. They do a tour of that building or that site where it was filmed. So she went and took a tour and took pictures for
Mhm.
me.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
oh, Nick, I don't know if you're still here or not, but yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out.
Dang, I'm out of the YouTube live chat.
Yeah, I haven't been in
I
there.
don't.
Well,
I
there's
can't.
not a lot of people left, so it's just a couple of us chatting. But yeah, there wasn't. But yeah,
No,
Nick
but
left.
them folks matter.
I didn't say they don't
And
matter. I'm just
listen, no,
they all
I
know
didn't say you did.
that I'm just horrible with the chat because when I start talking, I go off on my
Yeah.
tangents and I don't really pay attention to the chat that much like I should, but I don't. So and I got this, James. If you're watching, James, this Mandalorian shirt, I got this at New York Comic Con. Not this year, the year before, and we didn't know anything about the Mandalorian. It had just been talked about a little bit, and someone had this made up. It's not even official, I don't think. Some vendor had it made up and was selling a bunch of them for way too much money. So yeah, there's that too.
It's fan made.
It sure is. But yeah, so we have we're doing all right. I got a couple books to open for next week, so I got some stuff for next week. I also have, I mean, I'm good for a little while. I have some stuff. I've got a couple books for open next week. I still have a big Funko to open. I have the mystery box or the Smuggler's Bounty box. I have still the bag with all of the books I rebought at New York Comic Con because I wanted to get them signed, which are still in the bag that I haven't gone through. So we got enough to get us through for a little while, you know. And then my birthday's coming up, so I'll probably get some Amazon gift cards so I can order some stuff off of Amazon or whatever. Use those to order more books because that was the thing. I found a book for. I had a gift card that I got for Christmas that I used to buy some of the stuff, and one of the books was $1.49. And I was like, shit, for $1.49, I can't pass up that price. But it was $4.99 for the shipping. It was $4.99 for the shipping and handling. And I was like, I mean, no, I don't want that book for. I'm not trying to be silly. I'm a penny wise, pound foolish when it comes to a lot of things because I'll spend an extra $5 on a pop or a Black Series to get it, but I won't spend the $5 on the shipping and handling for a book. So, it's if it would have been $2.99, I would have paid for it. But the other $2 is, I'm not gonna pay for it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah. So I had something else. I had something I wanted to talk about, but I'm gonna save that till. I thought Charlie Skywalker was. Yeah, I thought Charlie Skywalker was gonna be here, and I want to talk to him about it. So.
Okay.
Maybe we'll wait till next week. And it actually gave me a little bit of time. It was just something that came up on Twitter today, and I said, "Wow, that's really good." And a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, that's really good," And I said, "Let's talk about it today on the show." To myself, I said it. I said, "Self, let's talk about it today," and I agreed with myself. We should talk about it. So we were going to talk about it, but yeah, Charlie was one of the people that commented on it. So I was like, all right, yeah, maybe we'll get his insight on it, and he's not here, so I know he was planning on being in here, but such is life; things happen.
He's Charlie's got six youngins to look after, and
I know.
Understand that.
I completely understand, and that's it happens. I didn't have a conversation with him one-on-one or say, hey, I want to make sure you're going to be there because I want to talk about this. I just know that he had said he was going to be on here, and nothing either way. He doesn't have even if he would have told me I'm going to be there, it's not like it's an obligation. It's something we do for fun. So he's got his kids he's got to take care of, and make dinner or whatnot. So yeah. So Mr. S is going to make me a TooMedToo's trivia championship belt. I had want
to see that.
I had a trivia quiz for Trevor. I don't know if you remember, Trevor gave me my quiz a couple weeks ago, and I got 2 out of 10 on it.
Trevor Beast.
Yep.
Yeah.
He gave me a quiz, and I got 2 out of 10 on it. And everyone after it was done, I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, so I got a good quiz for him, and it's probably like no quiz he's ever taken before. I'll just put it that way. When it comes to Star Wars quizzes, so
I cannot wait to see how that turns out. Wow.
But
see how it turns out.
I think that just about does it for tonight.
Yes, sir.
I will definitely be on next Monday. Maybe sometime in the near future, I can try and see how much time I got left on my StreamYard account. So yeah, so after 20 hours, StreamYard cuts me off, but they won't stop. So if I start a stream tomorrow and I hit 20 hours, they won't cut me off. I just can't start a new recording after that.
Okay.
So if I can figure it out, maybe sometime I have off tomorrow. Depending on what's going on in life, maybe I'll do a Fallen Order live
Well,
stream.
remember tomorrow night also is who is it? The Scare podcast. Row from Scare podcast.
Yeah.
They're doing a live stream with the Galactic Girls, Andrea and Lauren, on their YouTube channel. Yeah, take a skip over and we'll see what's going on their channel. And
Okay, what time is that one? Do you know?
7 p.m. Eastern, our time. Yeah, let's go jump over and pick them folks up.
Okay, so we'll double check on the time for that.
Yep.
Well,
Keep
either
a lookout for it.
either myself or Rural Farm Boy will find it. I don't know. I'm talking like there's a big audience. It's just me, you, Mr. Rez, and Chris King. So, yeah, it's in there.
We'll keep a lookout for one Row from Scare podcast. He's gonna post surely tomorrow, more than a few times when they're live. Yeah.
But maybe I'll go on now that I figured out how to do that book thing. I put a lot of stuff I was supposed to do today off because I have off tomorrow too, which I forgot about. So I got my bookcase to do and some cleaning to do. But maybe I'll go on for a little while and do a quick little thing for a half hour, an hour, and just do the try and start some book thing going on and seeing how that works with the StreamYard for a couple minutes because I got to use up all my 20 hours. I don't want to lose out on that. So
no, don't lose out.
They won't cut me off, but I can't start anything. So just as long as I'm not at 20 hours and I got something to go for next Monday, that's all we really need.
So keep a lookout for this week. Who else is live streaming anywhere on whether it be YouTube or StreamYard or however it be. Keep a lookout for Star Wars Friends, where we're going to be connecting up together, whether it be here or some other channel. Tag some friends and get some more friends in other friends' live chats.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's what happened. I checked out the Great Council because of you, and I actually got involved in the chat, and I had a few people that from that chat follow me, and one of them or two of them stopped in here today to say hi. They weren't here for long, but all you gotta do is start stopping in and saying hi now and then, and you start staying for the whole night, and the next thing you know, it's like Mr. Rez, and you can't get rid of them.
No, then if it was because of me, then I'm humbled and grateful for that. Because the only thing I want is all of my Star Wars friends together. The many, the more, the better. We're all in this together. That's what I want.
We are all in this together.
Yeah, this is why I do what I do. Same thing I tell them boys from Jam Transmissions. Hashtag, we're all in this fandom together.
Yep.
Let's all be in this fandom together. It's about we, not me. About we.
That it is. But I think that's gonna do it for tonight because
yes, sir.
Yeah, I didn't go to bed. My girlfriend didn't get home from work till like 4:30 or 5 in the morning last night. And I was still up when she got up because I was playing Fallen Order. And I just stopped. Well, I haven't been playing as much as I wanted to, so I went to go play and I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to stream for almost an hour. I spent an hour trying to get to stream, and then it finally started working. I didn't do anything differently. Just I did, but
yeah, but you can stay up later than me. 4:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, comes pretty quick for me. That's what time I wake up every
4:30.
day.
I know. I got done streaming, and I was on Twitter, and I saw you reposting some stuff. I saw you reposting my post of me going to play, and I was almost going to comment on that, and I said, "Oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to start a conversation about Twitter on Twitter right now." So I just let it be. I think I might have retweeted it. I'm not sure, but all right, Anthony, thank you very much. If I hop on at all tomorrow to try and test this book thing out and see how it works, I will let you know. So you can hop on with me for a few minutes, just to not a regular long stream or anything, just something to try out and see what it kind of looks like and what kind of feedback we get, because we had mixed things. Mr. Reds was saying that it looked good. Lauren was saying that it was too small. So I think it also depends on what you're watching it on or what you're looking at it on. So, we'll try and see if we can get some more. Now we got ideas of what to do. We can try and get it figured out. And, maybe I just need to go through and take pictures of everything and put them on a file and go through and scroll through the pictures. Then that might make it better, but we won't know until we try it. So
we won't. Miss Lauren, I'm out of the chat, and I'm still humbly grateful and thankful for you being here. May the force be with you, girl. And I owe you and Miss Andrea so many more voicemails. I am so behind on my voicemails to my podcasts that I listen to. And I'm just beyond humbled and grateful that she still is here in the chat with us. I'm gonna send you and girl something.
Well, you sent him something. She already left. She's not in. She had said that earlier, with the pictures, for the book. So we'll see. Gotcha. I'll see what I can. I'll work on it some more, tonight and tomorrow and see what I can do. I gotta get the bookcase done, and move some stuff around, so that I gotta at least get it put together, I guess, and then I can organize the shelves a little bit better on what I need. At least if I can get them transferred and stuff moved and not hidden anymore. That's the important thing. But all right, Anthony, I'm gonna let you go. You need some sleep so you can get up for work.
Yes, sir. Do what you must, Michael. Do what you must.
As everyone knows, they can find Rural Farm Boy on here usually every Monday if he's able to make it, if he doesn't have a prior engagement, and on the Twitterverse at A Rural Farm Boy.
Yes, sir, right there.
And on about 10 or 12 podcasts a week, writing in his questions. So listen to every podcast. Listen to every podcast you can, because you might hear
them. I wish. There's many more I hope I can be heard of. And
I would just like to say that right now, there's somebody in here that I don't know from my count, but this is a Patreon cast right now.
It surely is.
Rural Farm Boy.
Come join me on Michael's Patreon. Join
Rural Farm Boy.
Yes,
Rural Farm Boy, Mr. Rez, Chris King, my 3 Patreons, all here. So, Anthony, you just need to keep sharing that all over the Twitterverse to join my Patreon. People listen to you, or they don't. That doesn't hurt. So, all right, Patreons, it's that time. It's time to go.
Good night, Star Wars friends. May the Force be with all of you. And we'll be here next week.
It's a trap. All right, everyone. I just cut Anthony off. I don't know if he's done talking or not. I just kicked him out, but all right.
I'm good.
There you go. Okay. So you guys know I mean, you're my Patreons. You're my bread and butter. If there was, if there was a couple hundred more people like you, I could retire.
We are all ones with the Force.
This is true. So with that, I said good day. May the Force be with you. And we're out.